We are just moments away from Governor Gina Raimondo's annual State of the State address, and there is a lot to hear about what she has to talk about tonight.
Yeah, among some of the headlines tonight, we're expected to hear about Raimondo's free 2-year college tuition plan. We first told you about that yesterday on Eyewitness News. Plus the latest on the state's economy and the job situation. And we expect much of the speech tonight to focus on the middle class. And we're going to give you a live look now inside the Rhode Island State House. You can see that's General Treasurer Seth Magaziner coming in right now, where the governor will deliver her speech. Now, we expect the speech will run about a half hour. This State House slowly filling up here as we get ready for the governor to come in. That's Congressman David Cicilline coming in. Senate President Teresa Paiva-Weed announcing the dignitaries that are coming into the State House. I think a lot of the focus is going to be what she did positively over the last couple of years. Because remember, her budget proposal was also in the State of the State address the first couple of years. She is separating that now, and that will be delivered on Thursday. There's Congressman Jim Langevin. When it goes back to that free college tuition plan, a lot of the questions have been, okay, but how are we going to pay for this? She wants to offer 2 years of free college tuition, either the first 2 years of CCRI, so you can get an associate's degree, or the last 2 years at URI, and she hasn't explained how she's going to pay for that, so that's something that we're going to have to wait until Thursday. And historically, that's what happens. They kind of just give you a little tidbit of some of the things they're going to talk about. Obviously, Veterans Affairs, something she really expanded on. There's a first Veterans Affairs director in the state of Rhode Island. She is more than likely going to be talking about that. The car tax, too, is another topic that she's going to be talking about. And, of course, also the roadworks plan. Now, while that's been a lot of controversy with the truck tolls, things like that, there's the governor. We see her walking in right now. And before her, that's Senator Lombardi coming in right now. So that is members of the House and Senate coming in. And obviously the governor is walking in right now. Not sure if there's going to be any surprises. I think over the years, just sitting here and watching State of the State addresses, there haven't been too many surprises that come from the governor. And going back to roadwork, she's going to concentrate on the positives here, not the controversial truck tolls, things like that. We did see a number of bridges that were in dire need of fixing get fixed, so and done on time or under budget, so I have to imagine she's going to tout those as well. I think some of the things that people are going to be wondering about, who is she going to credit with some of the things that have been accomplished? Will the House Speaker be mentioned? Will the Senate President be mentioned? How about her staff? We heard the cooler and warmer campaign that didn't go so well earlier in the year, and there was obviously some changes there. With the Department of Human Health Services, there were changes there too. As well, so you wonder if she's going to tout things or say, we know these things didn't work out well. It'll be interesting to see what she talks about, what she avoids, and how she kind of addresses all of those. And Governor Raimondo stepping up to the podium right now. So we bring you live now for the governor's State of the State address, as the Senate President will announce her.
Members and guests, it is my honor to introduce, for the purposes of addressing the joint session, Her Excellency, the Governor of the State of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations, Gina M. Raimondo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you and good evening. Thank you. Thank you and good evening. It's wonderful to be here this evening. Speaker Mattiello, Senate President Paiva-Weed, members of the legislature, our mayors and municipal leaders, the judiciary, our college presidents, members of my cabinet. We come together this evening to continue a long-standing tradition, a tradition that puts a focus on the incredible and remarkable responsibility that we have as stewards to our state. To our state employees, I say thank you. Thank you for the hard work you put in every day to serve the people of Rhode Island. And to my family, Andy and Tommy and Cece and my mother, thank you guys. Thank you guys for the love and support you give me every day that allows me to answer my own call to public service. And of course, to my fellow Rhode Islanders, thank you. Thank you for placing your trust in me, and thank you for this humbling opportunity to work on your behalf. At the end of last summer, I got an email from a Rhode Islander named Cindy Strain. She's a mom from Lincoln. Cindy told me that the economy was changing, and she was worried that her kids were going to have a tougher time than she did. I'm worried about that for my own kids. But she wanted for her kids what we all want for our kids, an opportunity. Her son, Christopher, enrolled in CCRI after graduating from Lincoln High School, and he worked hard, but college just wasn't for him. So after leaving CCRI, Christopher enrolled in and completed one of our new manufacturing training programs. Today, Christopher's employed full-time in a good job as a machinist at Greystone Manufacturing. Greystone Manufacturing is a local company that added jobs last year because of our new economic development incentives. Cindy and Christopher are here with us tonight as a reminder of the progress we're making and the promises that we have to keep. Thank you for joining us. As leaders in this state, we have to protect the progress that Rhode Islanders are making. And we have to keep our promises to Rhode Islanders, who are asking nothing more than an opportunity to work hard. I'm going to quote Cindy's email. She said, Rhode Islanders just want a shot at a good job, a full-time job, a job with benefits, a job that has room for advancements, and a job people can make a career out of. My fellow Rhode Islanders, because of the hardworking, determined, and talented people of this state, because of the many companies that are investing in and expanding in Rhode Island, because we've come together to invest in ourselves, I stand before you this evening filled with optimism, pride, and hope for our future to tell you that the state of our state is strong and getting stronger every day. Our economy is stronger. We've cut our unemployment rate by more than half since it reached a peak of over 11% in 2009. Employers across our state, many of them local, family-owned, small businesses, have created thousands of jobs since I stood before you at this time last year. And after years of marching together uphill toward a recovery, this year we finally regained all the private sector jobs that we lost during the recession. Our business climate is stronger. Last year, we cut our unemployment insurance tax for the first time since 1992, and we put $30 million back into the pockets of Rhode Island businesses. Together, we eliminated the sales tax on energy, and we reduced the corporate minimum tax. And you know what? It's all starting to pay off. For more than a half a decade, the land on the 195 parcel in Providence was nothing more than dirt on the ground, a symbol of our economic challenges. But now, as we begin our third year of working together, finally, we will see shovels, construction, and thousands of jobs on their way downtown. That is progress. And because of the hard choices we've made together and the strategic investments we've protected, businesses are finally taking a fresh look at Rhode Island. The budget that I'll send to you this week continues our commerce programs for a simple reason, because they're working. For the first time in a long time, world-class companies like GE and Johnson & Johnson, they're choosing Rhode Island as a place they want to be, as a place they want to grow. And our local companies like AT Cross and Virgin Pulse and Electric Boat, they're all making a decision to stay here and add jobs here. I have to tell you, I love the work that I do, convincing companies to come to Rhode Island or expand in Rhode Island. You know why I love it? Because I believe in Rhode Island. I believe in our people. And I think these companies are lucky to be able to hire our workforce. So we're going to keep going. Our workforce is getting stronger. Thousands of Rhode Islanders are learning new skills to compete in our growing advanced economy. Last summer, I met a guy in Westerly at one of our new training programs, and he pulled me aside. He said, "Governor, thanks for believing you can teach an old dog new tricks. I do believe that, and I believe in him. And I am so proud of the thousands of Rhode Islanders with the courage and determination to learn new skills in the middle of their career." So the budget that I'm going to send you on Thursday protects and expands our investment in training programs so that every Rhode Islander can compete. Our infrastructure is stronger. Last year, working together, we passed the most comprehensive infrastructure plan in recent state history. It's no secret that our roads and bridges are some of the worst in the country. Every Rhode Islander listening to me tonight knows that. But now, because of roadworks, we're rebuilding our roads and bridges. By the end of this year, we will have started or completed repairs on nearly 120 bridges all over the state. That's a visible sign that working together, we're rebuilding Rhode Island. And you know what the best part is? In the process, we're putting thousands of people to work in good jobs, good-paying jobs that don't require a college degree. Our schools are getting stronger, and our kids are getting a better, brighter shot at a future. To set all of our students out on the right path, we've made investments in their success. We came together 2 years ago to finally guarantee that every kid in Rhode Island gets to go to full-day kindergarten. And we've come together to make investments to triple the number of public pre-K classes. And by the end of this year, Rhode Island is going to be the first state in the country to offer computer science classes in every public school, in every city and town, all across our state. Not Massachusetts, not New York, not California, Rhode Island, we're first. We are leading the nation, so our kids can have a bright future. Our commitment to our environment is stronger. Last year, working together with the legislature, we made it easier for Rhode Island homeowners and businesses to be a part of our march toward a renewable future. And tonight I'm announcing a goal to double the number of Rhode Islanders working in the green economy by 2020. After all, we are the ocean state, so let's get together to protect our natural resources. And while we're at it, let's put people to work. And finally, Our commitment to our veterans and our military families has never been stronger. For years, we had a Veterans Affairs division, but with no Veterans Affairs director. Last year, I was proud to appoint Lieutenant Commander Kasim Yarn to that position, and he's gotten right to work. Under Director Yarn's leadership, we've opened a new Veterans Service Center in Warwick. We've revamped our veterans website. And in less than a year, he's been to every single city and town in Rhode Island and met with vets in every community. To everyone in Rhode Island who's worn the uniform, and to every military family who has sacrificed, I say thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for answering the call to duty for this nation. Now, while we celebrate our success and our progress and the people who make our state stronger, the fact is we still face challenges. I share everyone's frustration, especially those who depend on government assistance, over the launch of our new social services computer system. And I've taken steps to improve accountability, and I'll tell the people of Rhode Island that we're not going to pay another dime until I'm satisfied that we're getting what we paid for. And tonight I come before you for the second year in a row with the heaviest of hearts to ask you to join me as we tackle the greatest crisis in the state of Rhode Island, which is the opioid overdose crisis. This is a crisis that's taking our friends and our family from us. This is a crisis that's taking friends and family away from us in every single city and town in Rhode Island. This isn't isolated just to the cities or just to the suburbs. This is all around us. And we've got to come together to attack this with even greater urgency this year than last year. Thanks to the courageous and heartbreaking advocacy of Rhode Islanders affected by the crisis, Rhode Islanders like Deborah Parenti, who has the courage to be here tonight, who lost her son Peter, and Brian and Barbara Goldner, who lost their son Brandon. We increased funding last year for treatment and prevention, and I'll be asking the legislature again this year to approve that funding. And I'll also propose funding to support recovery housing for Rhode Islanders who are struggling with the disease of addiction. We are strong. We are resilient. We are compassionate. And we are not going to give up. We are not going to give up on this crisis. And we're going to come together to solve it for the people of Rhode Island. Now, we still have a lot of work ahead of us to ensure that every Rhode Islander has a chance for dignified work at a decent wage. When I was a kid, not that long ago, Most people earned a high school diploma and they got a job. The deal was pretty simple. Go to high school, work hard, get a decent job to support your family. You had security. You could probably buy a house. You could even take a modest vacation. Maybe you took your family to the beach in South County or Block Island. There was dignity in work. There was pride in what you did and what you built. But for too many people in Rhode Island, that deal is now out of reach. So I say, let's invest in our middle class. I say, let's put that deal back on the table right here in Rhode Island, because it was a good deal that provided security for the people of Rhode Island. In 2015, we raised the minimum wage. And last year, I stood with many of you to try to raise it again. And we fell short. I think we missed an opportunity, especially because on January 1st of this year, folks in Massachusetts and Connecticut got a raise. But our commitment to working people is stronger than it's ever been. So I'm going to stand up again this year, for the third straight year in a row, for better wages. The budget I will submit to you on Thursday will once again raise the minimum wage, this time to $10.50 an hour. No one who works full-time should live in poverty. The budget I'll propose also includes a raise for home care workers and the people who care for Rhode Islanders with developmental disabilities. These are the workers who ensure that the people we love live in dignity, and we should make sure we value their work. Last year, thanks to Senate President Pivy-Weed's leadership, we gave home care and direct care workers their first raise in nearly a decade, and I propose we give them another raise this year. It'll make us more competitive with Massachusetts and help us get the highest quality people to take care of our Rhode Island families. And while we're raising wages, let's also make sure people have a fair shot by allowing them to take a day off if they're sick or if their kids are sick. You see, I think it's time to give every Rhode Islander an opportunity to earn paid sick leave if they're sick or if they have to take care of a sick loved one, parent, or child. Our neighbors all across New England, in fact, all across the country, in states run by Democrats and Republicans, are considering or have passed modern, common-sense, paid sick leave laws. So I say, let's make this the year that we do the same thing here in Rhode Island. Now, we all know Rhode Island's always been known for making things. In fact, we used to be the jewelry capital of the world. We all have a story of someone in our family or our friends who worked in a factory. I did. My dad had a good job for 28 years at the Bulliver Watch Factory in Providence. In fact, it wasn't that long ago that 40% of jobs here were in manufacturing, and those were good jobs. But over the years, many of these jobs were automated, or others, like my dad's, were shipped overseas. And the factories were closed, and the rug was pulled right out from underneath us. And for too many years, our leaders in business and in government missed an opportunity to rebuild Rhode Island's manufacturing industry. Just sat back and hoped that jobs like my dad's would come back, that the factories would miraculously reopen. Now, while the factories may have left and the jobs may have left or been automated, I'll tell you this: Rhode Islanders' grit and determination and work ethic is stronger than ever. I know that. I see that every day. So let's tap into it. Let's tap into it. And let's rebuild and reinvent the manufacturing industry here in Rhode Island. Because you see, people are counting on us to get that done. The budget that I'll propose will include a new manufacturing plan. Here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to invest in manufacturing initiatives for our high school students. And second, we're going to help smaller manufacturers invest in new equipment. And third, we're going to make it easier for manufacturers to train and hire Rhode Islanders. As often as I can, I get out and I talk and I visit with manufacturers from all across Rhode Island. And next week, I'm going to bring a group together to begin working on a comprehensive plan to expand our advanced manufacturing industries in Rhode Island and to position Rhode Island for success in fast-growing industries like offshore wind and precision manufacturing. If we commit to do this together, there's no reason we won't be successful. We're the only state in the country with an offshore wind facility. We have the fastest growing advanced industry economy in New England. And for the past 2 years, we've seen wages in manufacturing go up consistently. So join me. Let's get together. Let's commit to expanding and modernizing manufacturing in Rhode Island so more Rhode Island families can make a decent living building things again in the state of Rhode Island. In recent years, we've made a series of tough decisions to cut our spending, and it's put us on more secure footing. We restructured our pension system, and we've saved over $100 million in health care costs. And I want to thank the legislature for working with me collaboratively in making those tough decisions. But because of that hard work, we're in a position now to give back to our hardworking people. For the first time in 5 years, most state retirees this year will get a cost of living increase. We've also expanded the Earned Income Tax Credit in each of the last 2 years. And we reduced the tax that seniors pay on their Social Security income. So now let's take another step. Let's get together and give every Rhode Islander the car tax relief that they deserve. The budget that I'll send you on Thursday will cut every Rhode Islander's car tax by at least 30% and put over $50 million back into the pockets of hardworking Rhode Islanders. I agree with Speaker Mattiello that this should be a priority. And I look forward to working with the legislature on such an important issue. And as we come together to begin our work, let's commit ourselves to a reform that's fair, that's fiscally responsible, that's sustainable in the long run, and that provides relief for every Rhode Islander. And let's do it in a way that we can make sure we protect all the progress we're making and all the investments we're making in our schools and in our job training and in our economic development. There is plenty of room for compromise, and I'm sure we'll have spirited debate. And I'll work with anybody. But I know this: Rhode Islanders want and deserve car tax relief. So let's get together and let's get it done. As we continue to invest in Rhode Island, we need to realize that our economy is changing. And we need to be honest with ourselves. It's changing in ways that are causing real challenges for a lot of people. And how we meet those challenges is going to determine our future. When I was my kids' age, most jobs in Rhode Island required nothing more than a high school degree. But for my kids and yours, that is not the case anymore. The reality is that most jobs, most good jobs, being created in Rhode Island right now, and being created all over the country, require some degree or credential past high school. And our job is to ensure that there's opportunity in Rhode Island for anybody willing to work for it. And our job is to ensure that Rhode Islanders are getting these great jobs we're creating. And that's why last September I set a goal to ensure that by 2025, at least 70% of Rhode Islanders have some degree or credential past high school. And I'm very proud of the fact that we've taken strides to achieve that goal. We've worked together to make college more accessible and more affordable. Starting this year, for the first time, students in every public school can take the PSAT and the SAT for free in high school. And we've started to provide student loan relief for recent graduates who live and work in Rhode Island. And last year, nearly 4,000 students in Rhode Island were able to take college classes for college credit for free while they were in high school. And some students have been able to get a whole semester of college under their belt for free while they're in high school. Last spring, I met a mom from Smithfield, my hometown, named Catherine Rickert, and she's with us tonight. Catherine pulled me aside, and she said, "Governor, you saved my family $50,000. $50,000? Even I was surprised. That's a lot of money." I said, "How do we do that?" And I looked at her, and she said, "We have twins." So the budget I propose expands funding for this program so that more Rhode Islanders can start college with a head start. But I have to tell you, that's not enough, and we have a lot more to do, because right now in Rhode Island, fewer than half of Rhode Islanders have a degree or credential past high school. And it is a much lower statistic for people of color. Now, many of those folks who don't have a degree are hardworking and determined Rhode Islanders who realize that college just isn't for them. And that's okay, because college isn't for everybody. And so for those folks, we're going to continue to invest in our training programs and our credentialing programs. But we also know that for many other people, they want a college degree, but they're denied a shot at that degree and at the good jobs that come with it for one simple reason: they can't afford it. A century ago, we came together as a nation and we decided that we were going to guarantee a free public education up to grade 12 for every American. Why did we do that? We did that because at that time, the 12th grade education guaranteed you a decent job. But that's not the case anymore. The economy's changed. We got to be honest with ourselves. The playing field has changed. And so I believe our promise needs to change. Our promise to the people of Rhode Island needs to change if the people of Rhode Island are going to have a shot in the new economy. And I believe everyone deserves a shot in the economy of the future. Let's face it, the hardest part of college should not be paying for it. So, tonight, I say we expand our promise to the people of Rhode Island. I say that we ensure every young person in our state has a chance to compete for the good jobs that we're creating. Tonight, I say we take charge of our future. And tonight I propose to you that Rhode Island become the first state in America to guarantee 2 free years of college for every Rhode Island student at CCRI, URI, or Rhode Island College. Let's make a new promise to Rhode Islanders. Let's make a new promise to Rhode Islanders, like Juliet Jong, a senior at Cranston East, and Vinnie Florio, who just got accepted to URI, and Sarah Diallo from Tolman in Pawtucket, who just got into RIC. You can read the full plan and sign up to support it at freecollegeri.com. Rhode Islanders aren't asking for any special treatment. They just want a shot. Rhode Islanders just want a chance. They want to work hard and know that they have a chance to get a good job. They're asking us to protect the dignity of their work in uncertain times. And because of the tough choices we've made in recent years, and because of the success of our economic development, we can afford to do this. In fact, I'd argue we can't afford not to do this. We're up for this. Rhode Islanders are up for this. And I think we're counting on each other to meet the challenges of the future. It's who we are. That's what people are expecting of us. And as we confront uncertainty, and as we're confronting uncertainty all around us, let's hold on to our founding covenant that there's a place here for everybody. No matter what your gender or your race or your creed or where you're from or who you love, there's a place for you here. So let's come together as a community. Let's come together as Rhode Islanders, and let's dig deep. Let's dig deep and find the hope and the faith and the love and the resilience that it's going to take to make Rhode Island stronger. It's on us. It's on all of us. We are counting on each other, and I'm standing with you. Because together, we're going to strengthen this state. And together, we're going to meet the challenges, and we're going to build a better future for every Rhode Islander. We can do this. Because together, we will determine our future. Thank you, God bless, and God bless Rhode Island.
And Governor Gina Raimondo wrapping up her State of the State address at the State House in Providence. Some of the highlights of her speech: she's going to propose in her budget on Thursday raising the state's minimum wage to $10.50 an hour. She also is proposing cutting the car tax by 30%. Of course, that's been a big topic. Speaker Mattiello first proposed cutting it completely.
And she talked about how that's going to be a spirited fight.
Yep.
So we have a team of reporters for you at the State House right now working the latest reaction to the governor's State of the State, including the Republican response.
And we'll have all of that for you coming up on Eyewitness News at 10 over on Fox Providence and right here on Eyewitness News at 11.
And we'll also have in-depth coverage right now on WPRI.com. Ted Nesi is working hard right now writing up his story on the State of the State. You can log on and read Ted's stories anytime, 24/7. Now, we're going to be back first on Eyewitness News at 10 on Fox Providence, but right now we take you back to your regularly scheduled program.